In a large, vibrant kindergarten, there lived two colorful personalities, 4-year-old Alex and his best friend, Maggie. Alex was a boy whose heart could light up like a bonfire. On one hand, he was full of energy, joy, and ideas. But on the other, he sometimes struggled to control his angry outbursts when things didn't go his way. Every morning, Alex would rush to kindergarten with a backpack full of blocks, dreaming of building the tallest skyscraper on the rug, the one the whole group would call the highest building in the history of the kindergarten. However, reality was often different from his dreams. One day, just as he was about to add the final floor, Maggie ran over and accidentally knocked down the whole structure. Alex felt a wave of anger flow through his entire body. His face grew hot, his fingers curled into fists, and his feet started to stomp. "Why did you do that to me?" he shouted, his voice thick with gathering tears. His hand moved toward the scattered blocks. Maggie stepped back, startled by the force of Alex's anger. Mrs. Anya, the teacher, quickly came over, knelt beside Alex, and said in a calm voice, "Alex, I see you're very upset. It hurts when someone destroys something you've worked on for so long. But remember, you must never hit or insult anyone, even when you're very angry." Alex felt the anger was like a storm. Its thunder boomed in his head, and his hands trembled. However, Mrs. Anya's voice was quiet, calm, and gentle, like a light rain after a storm. "Can I help you name what you're feeling?" the teacher asked. "You look angry and disappointed." Alex sighed. "Yes, I'm mad, very mad. Maggie ruined my house." Mrs. Anya suggested they sit together in the feelings corner, where there was a special pillow. You can hug the pillow tightly, stomp your feet, or draw your anger on a piece of paper, she encouraged him. Alex chose to first hug the pillow tightly, feeling the energy of his unrest slowly lead his body. Meanwhile, Maggie watched from the window, not knowing what to say. She felt guilty herself. She had seen the tears in Alex's eyes. Mrs. Anya gently approached the girl. "Maggie, do you want to talk to Alex?" The girl just nodded. She walked up to Alex, who had already drawn a big red storm on a piece of paper expressing his anger. "I'm sorry, Alex. I didn't mean to ruin your house. Can we build it together?" Alex looked at Maggie for a long time, wondering if his anger was still living inside him. Finally, he asked, "Does saying sorry make the anger go away?" Mrs. Anya smiled. "Sometimes it does, and sometimes you need to take a moment to name it and let it out in a safe way." A sense of calm settled in the kindergarten's feelings corner. Alex put the pillow down, and Maggie sat beside him again. "I would like to try to build the house together," he said. Maggie smiled, and their hands joined in play. The next day, in a similar situation, Alex again felt a storm in his heart. But this time, he knew what to do. "Before I say or do anything, I'll hug the pillow or draw my anger." His mum, who picked him up from kindergarten every day, constantly repeated, "What you do with your anger is what's important. Don't be afraid to say, 'I'm mad,' but remember not to hurt anyone." Alex was starting to understand that emotions are a part of every day, and an aggressive outburst isn't the only solution. He saw that when he named his feelings and found a safe way to express them, he felt calmer inside. Once at home, when his younger sister spilt juice on his drawing, Alex again felt anger rising. But this time, he didn't clench his fists or yell. He sat in his feelings corner, hugged his pillow, and then said to his mum, "I'm angry because my sister ruined my picture. I want to tell her how upset I am." His mum praised Alex. "You're brave because you're managing your emotions and talking about them out loud." Alex often heard from adults that hitting or shouting hurts. He slowly began to notice that in his adult environment, no one called others stupid or yelled, even when they were upset. He was proud that he could be a role model for other children. At kindergarten, Alex also met other children who had similar difficulties. Some would hit, others would insult. Mrs. Anya organized weekly meetings in the feelings corner. Remember, aggression is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath it lies a lot of emotions that we don't always know how to handle, she would repeat. The children learned many new things. How to stomp hard so that the energy of anger goes into the floor, not into another person. How to paint their feelings with colors that reflect their intensity. How to hug a pillow to feel comforted. How to talk about difficulties and listen instead of shouting. Each of them discovered that friendship is born where there is respect for one's own and others' emotions. Alex was becoming calmer, his angry outbursts were rarer, and he talked more often about how he felt. There were also others, such as Julian, a boy who had long struggled to control his hands and feet. Alex went up to him when he saw tears in his friend's eyes. "You can lie down next to me in the feelings corner. We'll hug the pillow together." Julian felt less alone. He understood that he wasn't the only one who found it difficult to deal with anger. Throughout their days at kindergarten, the children learned to name their emotions, express them safely, and find a place for them in their daily world. Eventually, Alex, Maggie, Julian, and the other children became experts in colorful emotions, and their group became more harmonious and kind. In the evening, Alex would tell his mum about his experiences. "Today I managed my anger. I hugged the pillow, drew the storm, and talked to Maggie." His mum was proud. "You see, emotions are important. The most important thing is to learn to recognize them and express them in a way that doesn't hurt anyone." That's how the days passed, and Alex and Maggie's colorful world became calmer. Their home was full of smiles, affection, and colorful emotions that never hurt, not even a little.